parents, in these last couple of years I've been doing this broadcast, reframing is such an important thing. And to be able to embrace that whatever it is that has been put in front of you that's called good,
Yep.
instead of saying, well, this is my ideal of good, and we have to be there in order to celebrate it. No. Celebrate every step along the way.
That's a great word, reframing. One of the takeaways from the feeding class that Claudia brought back is the exposure concept, and and it goes to reframing. And one of the concepts that they floated to you was of the 6 ways that everybody eats. The pillars that you need to touch are boxes to check when you consume food. For you to reframe your mind that at each level, the child needs to be exposed at a minimum of 10 times before you may see an advancement. So the fact that your child, if they're, Claudia will go over the 6 boxes to check. But what's interesting is that if you sit down and you put a banana on the plate and the child doesn't eat it the way you think the child should consume it, it's okay. You have, in the first day. It's the first day. You can go 15 times.
You smelled it. You didn't run away.
Right. That's progress, right?
Exactly.
Ways we consume.
Okay, well, the 6 steps to eating, that's another thing I took away from the feeding class. They talked about tolerating, the child has to tolerate the food, like being in the kitchen with other different types of food, or just tolerate it on his plate. That's an achievement. If he can do that, that's great.
That's a success.
That's a success. The second step is interacting with it, meaning he could pour, a specific, like a new drink in his cup, or put some salad on his plate help that. That's interacting with the food. He doesn't have to eat it, but he's just physically touching it. That's great. Or maybe putting it on someone else's plate.
And someone else's plate that is going to eat it. Yes.
Mama, right? Just something. And also smelling, that's the third step is to take the food and smell it. To this day, my son still does that, and I think he's done it all along. I just never, now it's a little bit more obvious that he's actually taking it to, his nose. But we do that, they bring your food out, they put it in front of you. It smells great, and you're happy.
Yeah, but wonderful, delicious glass of wine.
Right. Smells it. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
The fourth step is to touch the food.
To physically touch it with your hand.
Or touch it to your cheek, touch it to your lips, touch it to your nose, even touch it with your elbow. It doesn't matter. You're touching it. That's success, and then there's taste, actually licking the food. Maybe just lick it one time. Just try it, or bite it and then spit it out. You don't even have to necessarily chew on it, and then the last step is actually eating and consuming the food, which is like chewing the food, maybe chewing it 3-4 times and then spitting it out, or chewing and swallowing. Like that's obviously what we all want, right? We all want, eat something. You get to that point where you're so desperate. Those are 6 steps to eating.
So in the perfect world, what was pretty cool that Claudia did. Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Alejandro would sit in a perfect world. Alejandro would sit down, and if Claudia was presenting, let's say the banana.
That's
scenario.
What we're working on right now, a banana.
So Alejandro would sit down, and he would have his bacon. Man, he has bacon to this day everywhere. So he would sit down, he'd have his bacon and his comfort food, and then on the plate, she would put the banana, a slice or two of banana on his plate, and the fact that it's on his plate with his comfort food, therein lies tolerating it. And then if he didn't want it on his plate, Claudia would set up a little bowl next to it, and that's the trash bowl. So he would have to pick up the banana and manipulate it and touch it and put it into the bowl for it to go to the trash. Actually, that was me. I think I was the trash can. I'd eat all.
I think Dad's, at least in our house, that happens to be the case as well.
Right. I was was eating a whole lot of waffles, but
So we do. So then if he did tolerate it, and then we would actually tell him, Alejandro, pick up the banana and smell it. So he would bring it, put it in his nose, and if he wanted to, he'd put it back on his plate, and we're back to tolerating, or he could put it in the trash bowl, and he's interacting with the banana. And then thus picking it up for the smell, you're incorporating the touch, where he's using his hands and he's touching it. And then we would also do taste. We would say, if you don't want it, just give it a kiss goodbye. And so really dramatic, it's the banana, and then he would put it in the trash bowl. But over time,
he would skip a few steps.
He would skip. It doesn't have to.
It kind of became a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
He's
and that's where it comes back when you were talking about, that predictable routine, where when he sat at the table, he wasn't going to be forced into eating this food. It was just going to be a time to eat what he likes to eat.